some stuff going on. We have a white gold ring that, I believe it's white gold, it might be silver. I hope it is gold. Oh yeah, 14 karat. So we have a pearl that goes right on the top. And so we have to drill this hole out just a little bit because the post is broken off. Get that little bad boy out and then do a new post for this ring and then make it look brand new. We're going to be going through some other jobs as well too, and seeing, I don't know, just seeing what the day has. Excuse me. See what the day has to bring. Ooh, that one threw me off. That one threw me off. Trying to get a little bit of extra energy through the coffee. Ooh, I apologize about that, guys. All right. So, pearls are very, very soft, and you can use just a regular drill bit to drill into it. The good part, let's see, yeah. The good part about pearls and how they're mounted is they're mounted with just regular white gold or silver, and that means it's not going to harm our drill bit when we get close. So, let's see, hopefully this is sharp. And I'm just going to drill pretty much on it, but right next to it at the same time. And we're making a little bit of progress. Slow and steady wins the race because you can chip pearls. And yeah, this drill bit is not sharp at all. So let's sharpen it up. I need to get some more separating discs that are actually decent. Alright. These ones are super thin. They were great for sizing, but they shatter on you. They're not the greatest. So let's sharpen this drill bit up. First I'm going to go flat and then hit the 45s. Turn it. Another 45. And now we have a sharp drill bit. And this should cut really well. Get a little bit of wax on it. There we go. And then I'm using the drill bit to go from side to side just a little bit, trying to get the old metal out. That should be good. Let's, I want to try to pick it just a little bit. You gotta be very, very careful because using a pick or anything can chip the sides of the hole, and then that can break a pearl. There we go. Alright, that metal is out. Good. So the pearl is done now. The task is to find some white gold and recreate that post. So now we have the new hole and the white gold ring. So let's get our materials. I should have, yes, I do have some wire. this should be thick enough. Perfect. So it fits in there. And now, let's see, let's put this to the side. Now let's just cut a little chunk off. We gotta figure out if we're gonna solder this on just flat or if we're gonna drill through and solder it from underneath. And this is about the size of, this is super thin metal, so it's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt. So we're not gonna be able to drill through it. So we're gonna have to solder it onto the very thin plate, which I don't like. I'd rather just do another plate that's a little bit wider and thicker, but that's not what the job calls for, so we're gonna flatten this section out from the old post. Alright, that should be decent. And now we get to solder it on. Let's cut a little section off and flatten this wire at the end. So we want a nice flat section. There we go. Just cut about a post length. There we go. Alright. Now let's dip this in our alcohol bath. Let me go fill it up just a bit. I have not added to this today yet. There we go. Now we got a full cup. And this, the alcohol protection, it puts a glass coating over the metal and the stones to help protect it from fire scale when you put heat to anything. And all you need is rat poison and alcohol, and that will be your protection. The chemical compound that you're looking for is borax, and so some really cheap rat poison is just 100% borax. So I want to get some locking tweezers just to make my job a little bit easier. I'm not going to grip it too far down because the closer to the tip that you grab it, the more heat's going to be required to solder it, because it's going to soak up the heat and pull it away from the part that you're trying to solder. So we got that right there. We got that ready. We're gonna go with white solder, and we're gonna go easy because this is a very thin piece of metal. And cut our solder right there. Put this to the side. I am going to sharpen my soldering pick. And this one's almost completely done. So it is what it is. Now, here's the fun part. Is blowing out your flame. Let's get a decent heat. I'm going to add a little bit of flux to this. Now this is actually a pretty hot flame, so we got to be quick and pray that we don't mess it up. So first, there's a couple ways to go about this. You can add the solder to the plate over here and then add your post, or you can add the solder to the post and then add the post to the plate. But since this post is thicker, or right about the same thickness of the plate of the ring, I'm gonna add the solder to the plate first and get the post hot. There we go. And get the post a little hot to pre-warm it. And then when I place it, I should be able just to go right in. There we go, it's nice and red, just a little bit. I should be able to go right in real quick and solder it, just like that. And now we're done. We have the pearl post soldered on, nice and straight. Straighten it out just a little bit from the side. There we go. And now we can add the pearl. So I'm gonna drill the hole just a little bit deeper so I get a nice good connection. And then I'm gonna show you guys a trick to do with the post to make it more secure. Because we're gonna have to glue it on. All pearls are glued on. So you want that grip, and the only way to get that grip is to do the super secret technique and method. And let's see here, we're gonna go with something right about thickness. Yeah, that should be pretty good. Something right about the thickness of the pearl. You want it the same size at least. You really don't want it smaller because pearls cannot take pressure. So I'll lube it up just a little bit. There we go. Now we can pre-fit it. See how that's gonna be way too tall. So let's just cut it a little bit. And this doesn't have to be flat because this is just a pearl. So this part's gonna be hidden either way. Cut half of it off, pre-test it again. Now it is, we can see that it's to one side still. It's to one side, it's not completely centered, so we can now adjust the post just a little bit. We're gonna cut it just a little bit more, just to get it drop down a bit. And now let's fit it again. It still needs to go down just a bit more, but we're getting there. It's a lot more centered. All right, so let's snip just a tad bit more. Oh, no, that's not snippers. I don't want to snip too much off of it. Part of what's preventing the pearl from going down is a little bit of the solder. So instead of making the post shorter, because you want that grip, there is a trick to this. So we are going to get, you could do it with with round burrs, but I'm gonna go in with one of these heart-shaped burrs. And I'm just gonna drill the base out of this pearl just a little bit and have it sitting down there real nice and pretty. Remember, pearls are very soft, so it doesn't take much force. So let's put the bit back on. And I'm just gonna flare this bottom out just a little bit. Let's see if you guys can see that. There we go. Alright, now let's do another test fit. And would you look at that? Now it sits really nice and almost perfect. It's a little bit to the side, so I'm gonna pull it over here. All right. Do another quick little fit. Yeah, that's about perfect. I'm gonna widen that hole just a little bit more. There we go. And that'll fit nice and perfect. So now we have a perfect fitment. All right. So this is what the bottom of the pearl now looks like. It's a little flared out. So let's put our bit back, and then there's, like I said, a trick to make it a little bit more secure. Is it gonna make it super strong? No. There's no way to get it super strong where it'll never come out, but it comes down to how long your post is, how deep the hole is, and if you do anything to the post to make it grippier. Now the way to make more grip on a post is just cut a little spiral into it or cut a little notches into it. So we're gonna come in with one of our cutting burrs and just do a couple notches, not really deep. You don't wanna ruin the integrity of the post. But you do want a couple of marks in here where the glue can go in, sit and rest. And that'll provide a little bit more grip. And something that I gotta see right now is I assumed that this was a diamond ring because it doesn't say anything, but there's a couple of black marks right over here on the side. So that means that there was glue there, and I gotta figure out why there was glue on this side, and I gotta get that cleaned up before I put the pearl in. So what we're gonna do, a good way, kind of a cheat way to clean this up is we're gonna do trial by fire. So we're gonna add a little bit more alcohol bath to this, and we're gonna just heat and dip into our pickle. Use a little bit of flux to bubble it out. So add flux all around, so that way the flux sticks to the glue. Get those stones nice and hot, burn off all the extra glue. There we go. That glue is coming off. Add a little bit more flux, and then those stones will be nice and white because they are diamonds, not CZs. There we go. Almost there. Gotta be real careful because we're using a very hot flame for this, and we don't want to melt anything, and we don't want our post to come off. And that should be it. Yeah, that is done. So now we have white diamonds on the side, and you can see that there is a little bit of blackness over here on these diamonds. So that'll come out in the ultrasonic and the slight buffing that we're gonna do. But it is now ready and set up. Yo, what is going on, Jackie? Hopefully you're enjoying your day. Hopefully you're enjoying your life. And even though I didn't get much sleep last night, I'm pretty energized. I got my coffee, and so I am solid. All right. I thought it was a pretty fun live stream last night, though. I thought there was a lot of good information, and I didn't get into um, reading Second Kings like I was going to. So I kind of whiffed the ball on that one last night. I really wanted to read a little bit of Second Kings and do a bit of a teaching on there. So now with pearls, you do not want to use black fingers and touch white pearls. So the best thing to do is polish and then rhodium the ring and then glue the pearl on last. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna just get some of these scratches out, then we're gonna polish this ring. But hopefully you enjoyed the live stream last night, and hopefully it was informative and fun. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. Trying to figure that out. I try to get ideas throughout the day to figure out what section of the Bible or what to expose throughout the day, and then I just come home and ask God what He wants me to read and what He wants me to do. And sometimes it's hard to get inspiration because I enjoy just reading the Bible and going with it. But I'm not the greatest teacher quite yet. All right, let me go polish this up real quick. It's gonna be a little loud, but I will show you guys some of the background magic. Let's see, exhausted. It's been humid and hot. You remind me of my daughter. She drinks coffee nonstop. I did enjoy your live stream. Yeah, my coffee cup says, "Let your faith be bigger than your fears." Yeah, bigger, not greater. Bigger than your fears. Hebrews 13:6. And I love coffee. My wife is, she's slowed down, and I love her. But there was a time of just a couple of weeks where it was coffee every other minute. Every time I was empty on water or anything, there would be water and then coffee right there, and it was amazing. But way too much coffee. Now I don't get any coffee. And that's what I mean by the black fingers, is when you polish, you get all the black compound all up on your little ghibli bits. So you gotta wipe that, take care of that. Get yourself a couple of corn nuts. All right. I will definitely tell her that. I'll screenshot this and I'll show her. All right. Yeah, I don't blame her or fault her for that though. The last couple of weeks we've been a little off because we've been sick. So, it's giving her a little bit of a pass and whatnot is okay. And so we're gonna add just a little bit of super glue to this. And we're gonna grab our diamond, or not our diamond, our pearl. We're gonna place it on. And then I'm just gonna move the super glue around just a little bit from underneath and try to get this whole section. There we go. And this ring is done, just have to plate it. Have to just rhodium plate it, and it'll be done. So we redid the post on here, cleaned up the diamonds, got all the glue off, added new glue, drilled out the hole, and now once this super glue dries, I like super glue for pearls because it holds up to a lot of things. I don't really like using epoxy because epoxy is kind of rubber. It really turns black when you start getting dirty. And if you're, a lot of people will wear their rings through hot water, showers, and all this, and it becomes pretty much just rubber. And that's when pearls will start falling off. So super glue, it becomes brittle and weak when you start moving it a lot. But that's, I think, a whole lot better than just the sticky glue. And now we have a marquee diamond that we have to replace. So this little bad boy right there, let me show you guys. So we gotta replace a little marquee. And it was not mother of pearl, it was daddy of pearl. No, I'm just joking, it wasn't daddy of pearl. That was just a white pearl. Mother of pearl is a shell, and a pearl comes from an oyster. Illness is not an excuse. Let's see, wait. I use Colgate and Coke to clean my jewelry. No need for your machine. Do not use Coke. I would highly recommend not using Coke. But yeah, you can use Colgate. What is a really good jewelry cleaner that you can make at home is just boil water, put Dawn dish soap. Don't boil the Dawn dish soap because it'll just go everywhere, but boil your water, put Dawn dish soap, and just scrub with an old toothbrush. But what I personally use, and that's just any method, super cheap. What I personally use is the best is green Mr. Clean liquid. If you could get Mr. Clean, get the green one or like the yellow kind. I pour a little bit of that in there, and then I put a little bit of Dawn dish soap. I'll heat the water, and I'll boil and heat the water with a little bit of Dawn dish soap. Add a little bit more, or not Dawn, with Mr. Clean, and then I'll add a little bit more Mr. Clean when the water is super hot. Add a whole bunch of Dawn dish soap, and then you can just boil your jewelry in that. Just make sure you keep taking it off of the stove, and make sure that there's no porous stones in there or any stones that are glued. And then that'll clean it really, really good. And then you just do a light toothbrush cleaning. If you don't want to boil water or do any of the chemicals, then yeah, just regular toothpaste, not with any of those weird strips. Or you could get baking soda and a little bit of water, mix that into a paste, and that's toothpaste. That's all that it is. And you can use that with warm water. So that works out really, really well. All right, let's get this into a vise. Let's see, is that mother of pearl? Nope, it was daddy of pearl. Get out of here with all this woman talk. I don't listen to women. I don't listen to women. That's amazing. All right, we're gonna get this little tap on the rear end, and we're gonna see if those diamonds are the right size, and they are. This is good. So we are in the money. We're gonna grab one of these bad girls out. All right, and oh shoot, there's a little diamond right there. I had no idea. That's so cool. It's a fried diamond, but it's still a diamond. All right, now we're gonna get our old man visors. You cannot be a professional goldsmith without old man visors. You have to really let people know how messed up your eyes are. We're gonna convert to the Ozark. It is so funny. If people really understood how bad my vision was, I don't know. I don't know. They probably wouldn't trust me with their jewelry. But oh shoot, is that onyx broken? Oh no, that onyx is broken. Never mind. I need a lot more onyxes. But yeah, if people understood how bad my vision was, they probably wouldn't let me work on their jewelry. Okay, so this marquee is a little thick around the hips. So let me see how the other ones are cut. If these marquees are, I think there's a thinner one. One's been on the Slim Fast diet. That is the one that I need. That one might be perfect because this one's a little thick around the hips. All right. So, and I'm one of those jewelers I just grab with tweezers. So that's the marquee that we have to replace. All right. And then you use your jeweler compound to grab the diamonds. Oh, that should be perfect. That should be perfect. Almost perfect. Okay. Well, we're gonna use that diamond either way. I'm gonna have to widen up the hole just a little bit. So we're gonna get our ball burrs and widen the seat just a little bit. So that way the diamond will just sit in there nice and perfect. I highly recommend always making sure you have some high quality. Should we use ball burrs? Yeah, we'll use ball burrs. Some high quality bits. Because if you don't have high quality bits, it'll just make your job 1,000 times harder. And yeah, that should be good. So I'm just gonna try to knock this one out real quick like. So it's gonna be an eat and call it good. Now I use 2 different types of wax. I have cutter's grease by ProCut, which is, I love this stuff. It gets real sticky though. And then they don't sell it anymore, but the beeswax from Rio Grande. This stuff's like gold. But they don't sell it anymore, so I'm on my last couple of cups, so I use it sparingly. One side done. There we go. There we go. Now let's try this out. All right. Hopefully this works out perfect. Hold our diamond in there just nice and right. Come on. Be a good diamond. Gotta be real careful with these. Have to be real careful with these because we don't want to break the tips. Alright, I think that sits low enough. Yeah, that should be perfect. Alright, now we're gonna get some flat nose pliers. It'd be nice if I had an awesome camera above me so I could really show you guys what I'm doing. And then you guys can see all the mistakes I make too. And we're just gonna come at the side and pull these 2 points together. Very slow and steady. Oh, no, that's not. I'm gonna come to the other side of the diamond from the round one and try to pull just this point of the marquee over. Ooh, and that's pretty tight. Good. So I'm using the friction. I don't know if you guys can see. Hopefully I can get you guys a better... Oh, you enjoy your day if you got a shootout. Thank you for stopping by, Jackie. So I'm using the round diamond to pull this prong over by keeping pressure to make sure that this side doesn't move and just moving the other one. There we go. That is almost perfectly set. Now I'm going to try to add just a little bit of pressure by individually squeezing the top of these prongs to get it nice and tight. And now it doesn't wiggle wiggle or jiggle jiggle for show. So it's nice and tight in there. Perfect. All right, well, that's what we needed. So this job is done. It's taken care of. Da, 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 da. All right, so now we can put the drill bits away. It comes in a, now these are a Grobit USA. And I like them. I like them. They're not the best. I don't get the best of the best. I have Panther and then Grobit USA for a few things, but it works. I like Panther because they're cheaper and they're still pretty good quality. They're just not the best. And we can take our old man visors off so that way we don't get busted with our vision and our eyesight. And we're just going to be taking out some of the scratches from the band. Alright. And now, before we sand all the inside, we're just gonna go and check all the diamonds. Like that one's loose. So we're gonna add a little bit of pressure and tighten some of the other diamonds up. Just by adding a little bit of pressure on top because they're already set. They just need more downward pressure if they are loose, and that one's loose too. Now this is not part of the ticket, but it's how you take care of your customers, because the last thing you want is to replace one diamond, send it out, and then and then a diamond comes out. Then they're gonna say, well, it didn't come out until you worked on it, then you worked on it, and now it comes out. And you know, that's just the thing, is when one diamond comes out, then that means the other ones are most likely not structurally sound. And now we can come in and do our final sanding right on the gallery, because we had to use pliers, so that's why I didn't do it all the way around, because we came and squeezed all the little diamonds around. And now this one's ready for polishing. Yeah, I'm gonna just save this one to the side and polish later because it requires me to go in the back and using loud equipment. Alright. What is this? Please check the chrome, re-rhodium, and cleaning. Alright. So this one is going to be... Oh, this one needs retips. I can already tell. Alright. So this is a good example that I'll show you guys. If you have jewelry and you have a diamond, this is how you tell if you need retips. Let's see if I get in just a little bit closer for you guys. It's flat, so let's see, it's got a focus too though. It looks like there's metal on top of this, which there is, but it's very, very thin. And it'll pretty much be flat, and there won't be anything above, kind of round like a ball. So that's what you're looking for when you're looking for thin prongs, or if it needs to be retipped, is how flat is that metal on top, because it should be raised just above. So I'm just going to throw these through the ultrasonic, because I can't do anything to this one without the integrity being a lot thinner, because once you polish it, that metal's going to come off. So that's not going to be too long before that diamond falls out, and then we're to blame. But if they say polish it anyway, and I already gave my advice saying it should be retipped and they don't want to do it, then cool, I'll do it. Needs tips on main diamond. So we'll stick that onto the job and move on to the next. And another one bites the dust. And another one comes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. But I will run it through the ultrasonic. Alright. What is this one? Size to a 6.5. This is a nice little emerald. Alright, well I take it back. It's not a nice little emerald. It's an emerald, and it's a natural emerald. But it's not a nice emerald. It's hard to get a really nice emerald that's natural. So this is the thing, right? As you can tell, it's a natural emerald because of all the inclusions on the inside. It's a nice stone, but emeralds are very, very soft. And if you want one that looks perfect as of glass, then it's got to be flawless. And then also to find that rich green color that you're looking for, just the price goes up and up and up. That's why emeralds are so expensive. And even though emeralds are not as expensive as diamonds, the larger the stone is, the more expensive it's going to be to... Oh cool, we're only sizing half a size down. I like it, sizing down, not sizing up, especially on the ring. You get charged more for setting it, especially the larger it is, because that larger emerald costs more money, and of how fragile and difficult it is to set without messing up. So if anything bad does happen, the company has to cover it. So just, you know, to not cover the whole cost of the emerald and whatnot, because you can't charge full price to set the stone, but you have to over time charge enough money that if anything ever did happen wrong, that it'd be taken care of. You know, that's why setting even you know, like a 1 carat diamond will cost you about $100 to $200, $300. It's an expensive stone. But then you get a 1 carat flawless emerald, and and you might be charged $400 to set that stone, or the same as a diamond. And then you say, well, it's just an emerald though. But it's how soft it is and how delicate. So you're not paying for the set, you're paying for the expertise. It takes a master goldsmith to be able to do all these things. It doesn't just happen by magic. You know, it doesn't happen by machine. Alright. So there's a couple of ways to solder with emerald still in there. And if you have any stones that can't take heat, I highly suggest getting a jar of this stuff. I think it's called Helping Hands. No, Extra Hands. Extra Hands from Rio Grande. Part number 8075.0021C. And it's not a fix-all type of thing, but what it does is it protects your stones from all the heat. And then I recommend getting comfortable going in with extreme heat, just real quick, just. And on white gold, I could even do this without using the extra hands, because the heat doesn't dissipate quickly on gold. It stays in one spot and then slowly goes around to the rest of the ring. On silver, you cannot do that because it'll just go and you'll burn your stone up. So we're gonna go with White Easy. This ring's been worked on a couple of times. So with an extreme hot flame, part of me is hoping that it wasn't sized up, because then that metal will just fling out. But we're gonna go in with a nice hot flame and just do this very, very quick. All right. So what I like to do is get the hot flame. There we go. Try not to breathe because you'll blow the flame out. Heat it up just a bit. Add your flux. Come on. Dang it. All right. There we go. Now we can grab our solder. And I go from underneath upward to heat the bottom first and then the top, and put the solder on top. So that way when it comes to flow point, it just flows. There we go. Just a little extra touch. And that's done. Nice and soldered. Put it in the water. Get the helping hands off. And just check underneath, make sure it flowed. And it did. So you got that little bead of solder. And now we can clean it up and call this one good. This one will be ready for polish. And that'll be done. So first I'm gonna put it on a mandrel. And it's about 6 1/4. Once I round it out and take that little nub off, it'll sit right at a 6 1/2. So what I'm gonna do is just tap. There we go. That's gonna be perfect. Actually, I'm just gonna tap this. Instead of removing, I'm just gonna tap the bottom. Tap the little solder ball. and then that way everything flattens out and makes it easier to clean up and actually hardens the metal just a little bit. And that's now a 6.5, slightly under 6.5. So that way we can just go real quick with just a little scrape with the file, and we're just smoothing this out just a little bit, not all the way, because I like to come in with my sandpaper and make it perfect. And then just touch the sides just a little bit, make that nice and flat with my needle file. And now this is set up perfect just to bring in with our drum sander. And this is 1000 grit. And we're going to take off the old plating, the old rhodium, and with a straight hand just go about it. And this is also going to smooth the solder joint. Oh shoot. Make sure you don't have any waves in there, make sure there's no cracks. Sometimes doing it the way that I do things, there will be cracks and whatnot, so you have to go in. Sometimes it makes the job longer and a little bit harder, but most of the time it's all solid. We're gonna come take that nub off and we're good. Now we're gonna come on the outside, hit that solder from both sides. And then take the scratches out. Try to make this a brand new ring without changing the shape of it. There's a lot of scratches in this one. And some of them are really deep. Alright, now right where we soldered, what I like to do is I come in at a 45 and I just blend it in. I save that as the last because that's the final step that'll make everything symmetrical. So now it's all size, it's symmetrical. You can't tell that it was size. Now this one's ready for polish and rhodium and then done. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. We got a few jobs done and thought we had a little bit of fun on here. I might do another live stream later, but yeah, I don't know. So we got some fun things taken care of, and I gotta go to the heavy equipment and the loud stuff and take care of that. This is fix crack on bottom, polish, and rhodium. Oh yeah, so that's just a solder crack. So I gotta put this in the cleaner, but there's a little crack under here. But yeah, I might pull you guys in because I do have a personal project I'm trying to work on as well too. If I get time, I have to catch up on jobs first, but I have this ring that I'm making, and I don't know necessarily what I'm gonna do with it, but it's probably gonna be the same style as this one a little bit, but with my initials and probably my daughter's initials in here, and and then add a little bit of coral and turquoise and call that good. I don't know, some type of stone. So anyways, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Hopefully you guys had fun and learned something. You guys stay sexy. Laters.